Hi, it's Naomi back with another vlog for you. This time I'm going to be talking about Stallo and Trolls by Stefan Spjut. Stallo was released a few years ago. It was translated from the original Swedish, and the sequel Trolls has just come out, so I thought it'd be timely to have a wee chat with you guys about these books. So the original Stallo, it's quite a hard book to categorize because it's got elements of sort of a thriller, of a fantasy, of horror to it as well. I actually reread Stallo in preparation for Trolls coming out, and I feel like committing to a 600-page reread shows how much I enjoyed this book initially, and it really did stand up to that second read as well. I've started the sequel, Trolls, but I haven't finished it yet, so I'm mainly going to focus on Stallo in this video. Stallo has this bleak kind of Scandinavian vibe that you quite often find if you read Scandinavian crime novels. It's definitely, I think, something that the author has taken some inspiration from with this novel. The main plot of Stallo focuses around a character named Suso. Suso takes this picture of this creature that she thinks could be a troll. And the distribution and the reaction to this photo is sets off this kind of like chain of events that drags her up and down the country. Meanwhile, at the same time, a young boy is actually been kidnapped, and Suso is somehow dragged into that as well. As someone who doesn't generally read that much fantasy and struggles a bit with their suspension of disbelief, I think the way the author wrote these magical, mystical creatures was subtle enough that it kept me on board, but at the same time, he made sure that there was enough mystery and intrigue surrounding these characters that I'd want to keep reading, and it really kept me invested in the novel. I also love the amount of detail in this book. I know that's not for everyone. Some people do not want to know what the main character had for their breakfast, but I really do. I'm one of those people who really appreciates kind of getting to know characters, learning about the minutiae of their everyday lives. And it's also worth mentioning that there's also a lot of detail afforded to the sense of culture in this novel as well, a sense of place. Although I have read a lot of novels over the years that are set in Sweden and other Scandinavian countries, they are very often set in cities or other urban areas. So I thought it was really interesting to shine a light on somewhere that was a little bit more rural, and these rural areas and their own sort of cultures. And the main character, Suso, she's really great. Like her tenacity and dedication to finding the truth really give the book a lot of its drive. In fact, she's quite a kind of like Fox Mulder, X-Files type of character. Yeah, and I really loved her, and I was really pleased to see that she was returning for the sequel Trolls in some capacity. So I've started Trolls. Let's swap Trolls. I've started Trolls. I'm enjoying it at the moment. I think that anyone who's read the first book will not be disappointed at all with Trolls. I think, in case anyone's wondering, it can also be read as a standalone novel, so don't worry if you haven't read Stallo and you just fancy picking this one up, because you can. Yeah, I'm really enjoying some of the characters making their return. Some of them are returning that I didn't think would, and in ways I didn't think they would either. So that's been really interesting, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for an ending that is as good as the one in Stallo. They're wonderfully atmospheric novels. They've got this amazing sort of sense of brooding and foreboding. They're fresh and they're amazingly detailed, and they've got a real unique point of view at times. I think the concept of trolls might initially put some people off, but I think just give them a try, because they're really punching at the same weight as a lot of the top Scandinavian thrillers out there. They're books that I can recommend quite widely because they've got those little grains of many different genres that people might pick up on. So you can recommend them to people who like thrillers or crime or horror or fantasy. yeah, I've really enjoyed them, and I hope that other people who pick them up do as well. If you've read either of these books, let me know. What did you think of them? Do you believe in trolls? And thank you very much for listening to me today. And if you want to hear more from me, more from the other vloggers, or more from Waterstones in general, then please do subscribe to our channel, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.